Hey there fam, it is me Obi and we're back with the Pokemon Theories. This time we're going to take a look at one of the most iconic Pokemon since the very beginning of the franchise. Magikarp seems to be a joke for most people, weak and pathetic. Even the Pokedex says so. We all know that reward is great if you spend the time training one of these guys, as Gyarados has to be one of the most intimidating and toughest Pokemon out there. But I believe that Magikarp is actually OP. Let's find out why. As usual, I'm going to try to stick to game references only, and what better place to begin than the Pokedex. Magikarp is simply known as the fish Pokemon. He's just over 2 feet tall and weighs about 22 pounds. For someone like me that enjoys fishing, that is a pretty damn good catch. However, almost every Pokedex entry talks about how weak and pathetic this Pokemon really is. So let's take a look at one of the latest ones from Omega Ruby. Magikarp is a pathetic excuse for a Pokemon that is only capable of flopping and splashing. This behavior prompted scientists to undertake research into it. Ouch. That is harsh, man. You're gonna hurt his feelings and we don't want that. Here's what Pokemon Diamond has to say. It is said to be the world's weakest Pokemon. No one even knows why it has managed to survive. So why in the world am I here trying to prove otherwise? Because within the games and Pokedex, there is evidence that this Pokemon is perhaps one of the toughest ones out there. There are 3 points that I want to cover, and the first one is resilience. For that, let's take a look at the Pokedex entry from Yellow. Famous for being unreliable, it can be found swimming in seas, lakes, rivers, and shallow puddles. This is huge because we're talking about the same fish here. In other words, Magikarps can adapt to any type of water, being fresh, salty, or muddy. There isn't that many fish that can do that. The moment you place a freshwater fish into the ocean, it would perish, and vice versa. Some have evolved to withstand both, but that itself is an amazing accomplishment. Even the Pokedex started to realize this, and in Pokemon Sapphire it states the following. Magikarp is virtually useless in battle, as it can only splash around. As a result, it is considered to be weak. However, it is actually a very hardy Pokemon that can survive any body of water, no matter how polluted it is. So extra bonus to you Magikarp for being able to survive anywhere. That is why in almost every game, no matter where you fish, you're bound to find one. Some Pokemon are restricted to certain areas, but not this guy. Cities, volcanoes, deep sea water caves, you name it. Which brings me to point number 2. Not only is Magikarp able to adapt and survive anywhere, there is records of these Pokemon withstanding a bomb impact that was enough to dry up a lake. So in case you forgot, in Platinum when Team Galactus uses their bomb on Lake Valor, as you go in the only thing that is left there are Magikarps which are still alive and flopping around. I mean really, how come we don't see the rest of the Pokemon that you can find in the lake, like all those Psyducks? Most fish would probably die just from the shockwave dispersed by the bomb. There's a real life equivalent where people use dynamite to fish known as blast fishing, which is illegal in most places for the amount of damage that they cause. I know we're talking about Pokemon here, but keep in mind that this is the weakest and most worthless Pokemon in the entire games according to the Dex. And yet it is able to survive such an impact. Alright, let's move on to my last point. Magikarp holds the title for one of the greatest achievements for any Pokemon in my opinion. And that is being able to reach level 100. And I am sure you guys have many Pokemon at level 100, but what I am referring to is the Magikarp is one out of only 2 Pokemon that you can encounter at level 100 in the wild. That is crazy. Not even Arceus, the god of all Pokemon, reaches that level, or any of the legendaries for that matter. And if you think it is bad enough for you trying to level your Magikarp to get a Gyarados, imagine doing all that all the way to level 100. There is 2 places where you can find these guys. In Platinum, they are in the resort area, but I'm going to be focusing on the nature preserve of Pokemon Black and White 2. Not only do you need to get a special permit to get in here after seeing all Pokemon from the Unova Pokedex, it is in here that we find the second Pokemon that has been able to reach level 100 as well. A creature so terrifying that would give anyone nightmares. Gyarados. So there you have it. Now you know why I think Magikarp is OP. This fish has been able to jump over mountains, survive anywhere, reach the highest level possible, even survive a bomb blast. It just baffles me to think anyone would call this Pokemon weak. But hey, that is just my theory. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Pokemon fans.